Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt, and welcome back to Farlands or Bust. This is Woof. This is... Can I finish? Can I finish my thought, Wolfie? This is episode... Woof. Yeah, I know. You have got so much to say. This is episode 517. Woof. I know. I'm getting to it. This is episode 517 of the series where we are walking. I realize that I'm forgetting some things here, and we've got to get going, but you've got to let me finish, my friend, please. This is the series in which we are walking to the Farlands in Minecraft Beta. I know! Minecraft Beta 1.7.3, and have been doing so for over 4 years, and are now on episode 517, as I mentioned. As I mentioned. Alright. That scared me a little bit. It is Saturday, October 10th, 2015. That guy's just stuck there, isn't he? Well, that's a shame. Woof. I realize, why so chatty today there, Wolfie? Very strange. So yeah, it is Saturday, October, my goodness, man. Dog, man, dog, werewolf. It is Saturday, October 10th, 2015. Can I finish? Good lord. Good googly moogly. And yeah, we are continuing with that endeavor. I know. What are you trying to tell me, boy? Timmy fall down the well? And in doing so, we are raising money for that. That has really, like, thrown me off. It's just the amount of times Wolfie's been barking. We are raising money for Child's Play charity over at farlandsorbust.com. There is, right there on the homepage, a little tracker donation thing where you can click donate, and then you can donate. Trying to raise $60,000 this season, and we are currently up to $6,542.64. So I do appreciate all the donations going straight to Child's Play charity. Good cause, getting toys, books, games to kids in hospitals around the world. And inspiring us to continue onward with this journey. Am I right, Wolfie? Yes! I was going to say, he's not going to bark when I address him, but all the other times, just bark away. Yes, I realize. Oh, man. Who's the crazy guy talking to a digital dog for the past 4 years? It's KurtJMac. He's crazy. He's crazy. He's lost his mind. Now I have a theme song for my insanity. Oh, man. Whew. But anyway, continuing on here. I suppose, I get it. You're barking all the time. There was a donor asked a question, and apparently it was Wolfie. Wolfie wanted me to get to his donation, because Wolfie, with his donation, asked, "Why don't you ever stop to let me go potty? I bark, but you just keep on walking." Well, I just assume every time we swim through some sort of water, you just go in there. Yeah, I know. Do you? That's probably your best bet. I've never seen a Minecraft dog need to go to the bathroom, despite all of the pork chop bones I feed him. I mean, nor do I, as the human player, have to use the bathroom. I don't even have to eat every day. It's only when I injure myself. Like, I might eat today, just simply because I've got half a heart missing there from the last episode. I know, you're freaking out, but just wait a moment. Do you want to go in the water here? Is that what you're telling me? Under this floating tree of strange-ness? Go in the water. Go in the water. Let's go in the water. I'm gonna get out of the water once you get in the water, if that's exactly what you do in the water, but oh god. Are you fine now? Are we good? Yes? Alright, continuing on. Jeez. That's actually a question I received with the donation. Signed Wolfie. So thanks, Wolfie, for the donation. And I hope you're happy now. So, continuing on here. Ooh. This is an interesting little valley, a weird hole in the mountain there, but all the same, all the same. Oh, I'm so sorry. Woo! That was a yawn and a half. Professionalism. Woo! Oh, man. Speaking of yawns, something's wrong. It's time for what's Kurt's medical condition. Our segment. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm sleeping well the last few days, week, entire life. Yesterday, had a fun little moment of vertigo. You all know what vertigo is. It's when you just sudden dizziness. It's not really dizziness, as you could explain dizziness if you were doing it for fun, like spinning around, and then, oh, I'm dizzy. It's more just like suddenly minding your own business, and then, hey, why am I being tugged to the left in one direction for no reason? Like gravity has suddenly went. It could be explained as many things. Most often like an inner ear problem, but also lack of sleep, or something, or nutrition, or something like that. But yeah, it lasted like 5 minutes. It's kind of scary because it's like, this isn't normal. This can't be a thing that happens if you're healthy. This could only lead to bad things. I'm wondering if it had to do. I recorded a bunch of racing games yesterday, Formula 1 with Cone Dodger, and then I was doing a lot of Dirt Rally, which was a little bit rage-inducing, as it often is, but also I did quite a bit of it, and it was really warm in my office while I was doing so. That might have had something to do with it. I don't know if it's... My computer setup isn't ergonomic. I mean, I have a nice ergonomic chair here or whatever, but I don't know if it's, that or whatever. It's also kind of related. We did talk previously about the both, all the other medical conditions, the sleep paralysis, the Alice in Wonderland syndrome, and then more specifically deja vu. I talked about how I would have moments of deja vu that would be kind of also then met with vertigo, and they kind of say how deja vu is really actually kind of like related to brain problems, sleep problems, energy problems, or could even potentially be related to migraines. Same thing with the Alice in Wonderland syndrome and stuff. Migraines, or even more serious things that when you look up on Wikipedia or WebMD, you're like, well, I've got a brain tumor. That's what all signs point to brain tumor. It's not a tumor. It's a tumor. No, so yeah, the vertigo is kind of all related to that sort of stuff. You'd think I'd get this sort of stuff checked out, but I don't. I have mentioned it to like doctors before, but they're just like, well, just get more sleep, or well, just eat more vegetables or stretch. Well, stretch, that was advice coming from, I still do every now and again, but like really severe. Let's diagnose KurtJMac. Like back and neck pains. Like not like, oh, my muscle's sore, but like, oh, somebody's jabbing me with a pitchfork and twisting it slowly, and it's going through my chest and out the front, and I can feel it in my teeth, and now my arm is numb. Kurt, that's a heart attack. Oh, man. So, yeah, I mentioned that to a doctor, and he's like, well, just do stretching exercises. Don't sit so long in front of the computer. It happened a lot more when I had a really crummy desk chair, and also when I worked at the web design place, and they had really crummy desk chairs. That has since subsided since I upgraded to the steel case Leap sponsor. Not really, because I paid full price. Sponsor, please. But yeah, I got the steel case seat, and that has subsided substantially. It has substantially subsided superficially. Alliteration. And but I still get it every once again. It happened actually. Maybe they're related, because it happened a few days ago. It used to happen like on a weekly basis. Now maybe once every other month I'll get the weird shoulder, neck, through the chest pain of mild concern for my long-term lifespan. But yeah, since I upgraded the chair, it's happened recently because I started to recently, ironically, you should work out more. You should get more physical activity. Well, that's kind of what triggered it. I think I've gone back to my doing push-ups every day sort of thing to try to get some sort of physical strength back. Also taking Eva out on walks and things also is part of that situation. But it was like pretty much right on schedule. I'm like, oh, I should start doing push-ups now. Okay, I'm not doing too many. I'm taking it easy. But then right away, Bakow! Shoulder pain of death and doom and numbness. Good times. And then a few days later, I had the dizziness. It's like an episode of House. I've never watched an episode of House, but I'm assuming it's all about like the weird, strange, undiagnosable situations that people have. Am I right? Is it lupus? It's gotta be lupus. Seinfeld references. So yeah, feel free to diagnose away. You guys properly diagnosed my gluten allergies, so maybe you'll figure this one out too. So anyway, let's go to sleep, and then we'll start answering questions from donors in the morning. And awakeness. Bloop. I know those DX racer chairs are all the rage. Probably just really good marketing on their part, and gifting the chairs to high-profile gamers and events and things like that. But I don't see how those are comfortable. I mean, they're kind of set up like racing chairs, and I could see how those are comfortable. But then they've got all those weird lumbar pillows and head pillows, and that doesn't seem comfortable at all. I don't see how that works theoretically. They are a lot cheaper than, say, your Aeron chairs or your Leaps, but yeah, I don't know if I would fully ever buy into the DX. I mean, if they want to send me one where I can do a nice comparison vlog or something between my actual space chair, as it's called, and that, but by all means. No, they're not gonna do that. But I was just reminded, somebody on Imager or DeviantArt or somebody made a fan art of the space chair. It's basically my Minecraft character with 3D glasses, like blasting off out of Earth orbit on a chair, a space chair, and he's like, "Woo, space chair!" And it's just an office chair with little rollers and stuff. Oh, good times with the fan art. I recently also, the same person who did the new intro for Kurt Indeed. I recently had a Kurt Indeed video go up, by the way. Did a kind of an upgraded intro for Kurt Indeed. Also, I went back in their timeline, and I did notice they did a Dirt Rally fan art, which was fun. It was the Mini, once again, the driver in 3D glasses, careening, breaking all the wooden guardrails and having all the cracked windshields and the little the course ribbons stuck and flailing behind me, and the worried-looking co-driver. Did a Dirt Rally fan art that I thought was really awesome. So yeah, fan art A+. One of the many reasons I continue to do this. One of the many reasons I continue to wake up in the morning. No, it's one of the unexpected little fun things that come out of doing the YouTubes and having such fans as you. But anyway, ooh, that turned out to be a little bit more interesting from this side than I would have anticipated. Neat. Good job, Minecraft. Good job. Right, Wolfie? Oh, sure. Now you're silent. Now you're silent. I understand. But here we go. A message and a donation from Paige in Berlin. I have been using a mocha pot for my coffee. Is that an acceptable form of coffee preparation device for your usual coffee snob? Mocha pot. What's a mocha pot? Is that kind of the octagonal one? It's kind of Italian, is it not? That you like directly put it on the stove and then it does something. I don't know how it works. I've never looked into how it works, but yeah, I think that's a little bit on the as long as it's not a one of those silly cartridge ones. What are those called? The cartridges, the little cups, the K cups, the what are those called? Craps. They're crap. As long as it's not that or a standard drip machine, you know, the type of machine that are in your hotels or whatever, then I think you're already on the up and up for your coffee snobbery makey of stuff. I used to use I started with a French press, but I switched. That makes a pretty strong coffee, and also because there's no paper filter, it leaves all the oils and can kind of do some bad things for your cholesterol if you use it too much. But I started with the French press. Then I went to a Chemex brewer, which is my first pour-over experience. Promptly broke the Chemex because it is a giant glass vessel, a nuclear vessel that. Uh-oh, Wolfie, don't be teleporting over here in the sand, or in the sand under the ice. All right, let's be careful here. Let's go over this land to make sure Wolfie teleports. Went to that. Then I got a what I'm currently using. There we go. A ceramic Hario, Hario, the V60 pour over. It's essentially, it's similar to a Chemex, except it's got kind of more spirals and you use a little bit of a different paper filter, but it's a separate thing, which then I was just putting over the French press and making it in there, if that makes any sense. But now I recently got this other thing. It's like an all-in-one, but it is the Hario process. It looks like a Chemex, but it has a... Sucks to be you, creeper. Should have watched where you were going, guy. Did he die? I think he died. Oh, no, he didn't. How's it going, guy? Oh, gotta go. Have a nice trip. See you next fall. Oh, look at this landscape. This is all tore up. It's all tore up. So yeah, maybe I should. That's another vlog subject I'll possibly do. Is I'll explain my history of coffee making and kind of show off the new coffee maker thing. And then Paige goes on to ask, how does one stop soy milk from clotting in their coffee? Not that you would probably know this, but why not ask anyway? I have no idea, because that is a demerit. Demerit! Coffee snob demerit. Adding any sort of milk or additive to your coffee is a demerit on your coffee consuming hipster-ishness. I mean, the hippest of the hipsters add absolutely nothing. I personally add sugar. I need a little bit of sweetness. Gotta have a little bit of sugar there, sugar. So I do that. But yeah, I have no idea why soy milk would even do that. I would think, I don't know. Yeah, soy milk shouldn't, unless you're adding like also citrus or something. That would be weird. But yeah, perhaps in the comments you can let Paige know why her soy milk is clotting. No milk is the best milk. This question from a donor named Corey. What do you predict will happen first? You reaching the far lands, give or take 14 to 20 years? Or the Cubs winning the World Series? Well, I tell you which one I'll care more about and which one I'll care none about. As a Southsider, as a White Sox fan from Chicago, I'll go with the Farlands. But the other thing I could really, I'm not like adamantly anti-Cub. Like there are like people there like, you're a White Sox fan, we can never be friends. You are my mortal enemy. It's like, whatever, I don't care. I'm not really huge into sports or anything like that, but definitely White Sox over the Cubs. White Sox indeed. So, meh, it doesn't matter. We already won the World Series recently, so have fun trying, suckers. No, I'm just kidding. It's an interesting and it's a fun kind of narrative to keep up, I guess. But thanks, Corey, for your donation. This one from an anonymous donor. Have you considered, speaking of coffee, I guess, Have you considered adding an And Awakeness coffee mug to your Spreadshirt store? Maybe have the Farlands or bus bed or an elevated hidey hole on it? That seems an interesting idea. I don't know. Nobody's buying anything from that. Not that I'm like saying anybody should buy anything from there. I've always sustained that the only reason I started that store is because everybody kept asking me as Farlands or Bust and my channel started to gain in popularity. People were like, "Oh, I'd buy a shirt that said Indeed," or I'd blah 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 blah. So why don't you have a Spreadshirt shop? Spreadshirt shop, Spreadshirt shop. So I'm like, all right, I'll open up a Spreadshirt shop. And then I tried to make the items as cheap as I can, like through Spreadshirt. I don't know if you know this, but like you can pretty much like add any. There's like a base price to the shirt, and design or whatever as a seller, and then you can just add however many specific dollars on top of that you want as your profit, as your take. And so I could like make every t-shirt $60 and then take whatever off the top of whatever the base price of the shirt is. But I try to make that as small as possible, so it's really never been any sort of profit margin for me. So that's why I typically don't send people there or really advertise it much. But I'm thinking of maybe reducing things a bit there. Switching things out, things that don't sell at all. It's kind of reduce, reuse, and recycle, and jump off a ledge. Spelunk. Come on, Wolfie. You can. Oh, or you can just teleport down here. You know, whatever works. This is a neat little area, if I do say so myself, and I do. But yeah, and Awakeness. I've always also kind of wanted to figure out a way to do a disappointed F1 driver. I mean, right now the shirt store is just Farlands or Busts related, but I suppose in regards to my channel as a whole, having like a "I don't know what happened, man" or something like that. Even though that's kind of Beef's thing, maybe I should give that to him to sell as a shirt. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not really focused too much on that. You guys, I mean, you really don't need. Do you need more T-shirts? Do you need really? This fast fashion, this disposable clothing economy which we've created. Do you need to do that? I know what I need to do. I need to go to sleep, and we'll continue in the morning. And Awakeness. Ooh, it's a zombie party over there. Boing boing. Thanks for that suggestion, and the donation, of course. I feel a little off. Do I not sound a little bit off? I feel a little bit off today. I'm getting a little bit retrospective here. Maybe it's the vertigo, the weird brain problems I'm having. It's the tumor. It's taking over my personality. I should not joke about such things, because that would be really weird if it transpired in such ways. Oh, man. Let's see, what else are we gonna do here? Answer questions. This one from Travis. I recall from one of your older videos that you mentioned... Oh my god, I didn't even know this was a question. Maybe this is why I got to thinking about it. That you mentioned you bought a Steelcase Leap. Wow, Travis, good job subliminally getting me to talk about these things. You know what, this is kind of a sad little waterfall that just ends right there. I must set it free! Whoa, watch it, Wolfie. Oh. I have not really done anything to set it free. Could I... that sort of helps. Go a little further, go a little further! You can do it! You can do it! There we go. And then it's stopped by the tree. Alright, never mind. You were always to be a sad waterfall, my friend. You mentioned that you bought a Steelcase Leap. As I am looking for a new office chair myself, I'm wondering how well that chair has held up for you, or if you have any other recommendations. Also, oh my god, Travis! Travis! How do you know what the things I'm going to be talking about? Also, are you still into those fancy-dancy hipster coffees? Wow! Travis, you, my friend, have the gift of foresight And, well, speaking of deja vu and whatever, geez. Alright, but yeah, I think I just talked about the coffees. I recently ran out of coffee. I've been getting coffees from Stumptown recently. They're out of Portland, so it's a little bit easier for me to get. Gets here a little bit faster than stuff I order from Intelligentsia. There are also a few. There is one in Phoenix called Cartel, but I've not been too happy. The last few times I did order from them, I've not been very impressed with the flavors I'm getting out of their coffees. I don't know if that just means I'm choosing the wrong varieties or not, but it is pretty much the hipster intelligentsia of Phoenix, I suppose. But yeah, I've been getting from Stumptown, which I've been happy with lately, but I recently ran out and I didn't have... I should order some more. I didn't order any more, so I had to pick up some of the crappy stuff from a grocery store. I don't even know what brand it is. It's just like a $6 bag of coffee beans. I refuse. I tried Starbucks beans, but they're over roasted. You know, when the beans are all like shiny and dark and moist looking, that's when they've been over roasted and the oils are already starting to escape. I like a dry bean. So when you get your coffee beans, and as you should get them in pure hipster whole bean form, if they look oily and wet and shiny, then that means they've been overcooked. They've been over roasted, and you're not getting the best flavor. When you get from a good place, when the getting's good, it's like kind of drier or whatever looking, I guess, is kind of the way to describe it. But anyway, yeah, I mean, the Steelcase Leap has been holding up fine as far as durability is concerned. It is still, I mean, one of the problems I had with the cheaper chairs you get from Staples or Office Max or whatever is that the cushioning would flatten out, and then I'd end up sitting on a hard piece of cardboard or plastic or ply, whatever, underneath. The Steelcase Leap has been doing just fine. You know, all the adjustments that I need to have the armrests at the exact height of the desk, and it did take a while to kind of dial in. There was a long time there where I'm like, oh, this was a poor purchase because I can't get the right, where's the lumbar supposed to be, and the stiffness of the back, and the height, but once you figure it out, once you get that sweet spot, it's a sweet spot, and like I said, it has greatly reduced the amount of those weird back pains that I was getting, and just a far more comfortable experience all around. And yeah, I don't know how they would compare to the popular DX racers or whatever, but who knows? Who knows? But yeah, overall, a wise investment indeed, and quite the investment at that. But a wise investment indeed. Yeah, this is something I packed and brought with me here to Phoenix. Let's see here. Otake comes back. I answered a question from Otake last episode, I think. What is your favorite character from The Simpsons? I've been actually watching a bunch of Simpsons lately. Not a bunch. Simpsons and Seinfeld. There's a lot of reruns of Seinfeld and The Simpsons on certain places, FX and TNT or whatever channels, cable US cable channels. Recently there was the one where he went to clown college. Oh man. Favorite character? Well, Homer is obviously, I think, kind of just the default. Everybody's... Careful, Wolfie! I don't know why I told you to be careful after I just jumped off that cliff and took damage as well. Lisa needs braces. Dental plan. Lisa needs braces. Dental plan. Anybody see my live streams recently? Oh man, that's classic. Favorite character? Lenny's funny. Lenny is pretty funny. He's constantly falling down giant chasms. Aw, nuts! Lenny's pretty funny. My favorite, like, auxiliary character is probably Gil, the kind of hard on his luck salesman. I don't even do any impression of Gil, but he's kind of he's always got some random salesman like job, and he's always like struggling to like make a sale or get good business or whatever. I think at one point, wasn't one episode like Marge started working for him? Like, was he like with the real estate as a realtor or something like that? I could be wrong. I could be mistaken. But yeah, Gil, it was always pretty funny. Yeah, I don't know. There's too many good Simpsons characters out there. Probably like the best guest character was probably Scorpio. That's probably one of my favorite episodes ever. Hank Scorpio. Trying to think. No, yeah, it's hard to say. Hard to say. Probably another one of my favorite episodes is the Sherry Bobbins episode. For like everything in that episode, but mostly the ending. The ending, I do remember watching that episode for the first time, like when it was a new episode on a Sunday or whenever they were back then. And like, I absolutely died at the ending. For those of you who don't know, spoiler alert, when she's like, you know, I must leave you or whatever, and then she starts to fly away on her umbrella off into the sky behind them, and then Lisa goes, "Bye, Sherry Bobbins. Hey, Dad, do you think we'll ever see her again?" "I'm sure we will, Lisa." And then she gets sucked into the jet engine. "I'm sure we will." Oh, man, I about fell out of the couch and died. Oh, it's hilarious. It's one of those things you expect to happen, and then it happens. That's what makes it so funny. Oh, man. Good times, Simpsons, good times. Although I think they recently did announce... I didn't watch it, but like the latest season premiere, I think got like really bad reviews. And I think they did announce that probably by the 30th season, I don't know what season they're on, but by the 30th season will probably be their last, which makes sense. It's kind of gotten to the point where it's simply existing for the sake of existing to be self-referential or whatever, but oh, the heyday of The Simpsons. There have been a few. I've seen a few reruns of recent episodes that I thought were pretty funny. But they have kind of taken more of that Family Guy approach, which is funny because Family Guy kind of took the early Simpsons approach. If you look back at the early Simpsons, they did a lot of those callbacks to, you know, as jokes like, "It's not as bad as that one time I did this," and then they do a funny flashback that was just completely non sequitur. So it's kind of again, existing to merely be self-referential, I guess, at this point. Boom! Ooh, that was a good... That pig was well worth the kill there, Wolfie. Let's get somewhere, away from all the ice, and then make the end of the episode hidey-hole. I do appreciate all of these questions, and of course they all come by way of donating to Child's Play charity at farlandsorbus.com. Yeah, you know what? Let's just make it right here. Wolfie, have a seat. We've got this strange little island. Why not? We call our own. And let's see if I can't. Oh, it's gonna be all cobble all the way. Woof, Wolfie knows. So yeah, at farlandsorbus.com, there is the donation widget for Child's Play charity. That is the official Child's Play charity donation widget. If you're donating to Child's Play charity and it's not through that widget, then you might not be. you might want to make sure. You might want to double check. But yeah, that's on the homepage there. It allows you to see where we're at, and it also allows you to donate. And when you do, there is a comment box that you can leave either, you know, you can leave a comment. People leave comments all the time where they're just like, "Oh, I love your show, blah, blah, blah. Good luck with the journey." Or you can ask a question that I will add to the notepad to hopefully answer on a future episode. And also, whoops, I don't need, wait, no, that's what I need. But beds. Beds. And then also make sure since by default, and for good reason, for privacy reasons, all of your donations to me, from what I can see, are anonymous. So if you want me to, say, oh, this question was from Travis, and he is a savant and a teller of the future, or whatever, make sure you put that in your actual comment to say, oh, dash my name or whatever. Otherwise, that's probably, I think, maybe some people want to be anonymous. That's probably why there's a lot of anonymous questions, is because people don't realize I don't see their names. But yeah, that'd be much appreciated. Give me things to talk about. Give us a way to interact on our way to the far lands, because we've got a long way to go. And this is only episode 517, so buckle in. It's going to be a long ride. Woof, Wolfie knows. Now he's chatty again. And yeah, I do appreciate you for sticking around and helping out. And we will continue on in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time. I like a dry bean.